Can AI make a better meal plan than a Latina mom? And not just a Latina mom, but any mom. Can AI really get your meal plan down packed to a point where you could just grab that thing, print it, and run with it? In this video, I'm gonna break down what I found and I'm gonna let you decide. I want you to comment down below and let me know if you think that AI beat me or if you think that I beat AI. And be honest, like why? Why do you think I beat it, or why do you think AI beat me? In my previous video, I made a very quick like grocery run through, which I'll put it right here. So you could see I basically came home kind of frazzled because I was on a very tight budget at the end of the month, and I had very specific things in the freezer and in my refrigerator and in my pantry, and I had just made like the smallest grocery haul for a family of 7 with a very minimal amount of money. And when I got home, I really was like, man, I'm just not sure what to do with all these ingredients. I've used different like cooking websites where you could plug in certain ingredients and it'll give you like a whole list. I think one is called allrecipes.com, where you could plug in like the ingredients that you have and it gives you like a meal plan or a meal or a recipe for it. Because this was going to be for 5 to 7 days, which ended up being almost 7 days worth of food that I was able to like get out because of ChatGPT and Mom Brain. I decided I didn't want to go through allrecipes.com because all recipes is very specific and you do have to like tell it like the spices that you have in your fridge and maybe condiments and things like that. And I didn't want to do that. I just kind of wanted to like dump what the ingredients that I bought at the grocery store were, what I had in my pantry, and then see if it could come up with something. And so one of the things that I noticed is that ChatGPT or AI, whatnot, whatever AI platform you use, doesn't know you. It doesn't know that your 18-year-old can eat for like 3 grown men and that maybe your teenagers eat like for a full adult-sized person. It doesn't know maybe your kid is like gluten-free and the other one is allergic to peanuts and the other one doesn't like tomatoes or cucumbers, etc., etc. So as a mom, you know that and you're able to put that, into your cooking and into your lunch making and meal prepping. With ChatGPT, you have to be very careful and very specific, like to the point where if I wanted to be that in depth, I probably could get it to be that in depth. I just didn't have the time for it when I made the video and I made this meal plan. I didn't have time to sit there and talk about my 18-year-old's preferences, my husband's preferences, the fact that I have to have enough food for the next day, how much servings really pan out. So I did say like 5 pounds of chicken would probably be good for 2.5 meals, meaning like a lunch, a dinner, and maybe some leftover for some quick quesadillas or stuff like that. These are things that I think like us as humans, we know what to do with it as moms or dads, whoever you are that preps meals in your house. You know how much meat, proteins, veggies, and things are going to be used per meal according to the age groups and the people in your household. ChatGPT doesn't have that capability, right? You would have to sit down and tell ChatGPT exactly what it is that you want. And that's kind of time consuming. And I could do that, but I also have noticed that ChatGPT and AI networks, platforms, whatever they're called, need a lot of information to be able to give you information. And you have to clear up your ChatGPT chats and things like that so that it kind of just like gets rid of information that it no longer needs and then gives you brand new responses. So one of the things that I do suggest, one of the questions is, will I use ChatGPT again for meal planning? And the question is maybe, okay? It was very useful. It actually gave me some ideas that I hadn't thought about, like pollo guisado. I was like, I haven't done that in a while. I'm gonna make a pollo guisado. It didn't give me a recipe. It just kind of assumes that you know the recipe, you have the ingredients for it, and you can make it. So ChatGPT will also pull up recipes if you ask them for it. However, I didn't go there and on that route because I have Pinterest, I have Google, I have other websites that I use for recipes that I want to know how to make. And so I didn't want to use ChatGPT for a recipe, but I will say that I actually Googled the other day, or ChatGPT the other day, muffins. recipe, a basic, easy muffins recipe, and they were divine. Like the kids loved the recipe. It was the easiest recipe I had made in a long time, and it actually tasted better than one of the ones that I had in my recipe box. And so it will pull recipes if that's what you wanted to do. I would probably just use it for the information that I need. So let's see if ChatGPT was able to give me the best meal plan that I could have hoped for the 5 days that I was on a strict budget, and if it worked out, and what did it give me? Like, was it good or not? Bear with me as I am kind of scrolling through and looking at it and writing my meal plan. I'm not trying to go fast, but I am trying to edit it as I go. So it did suggest for some meals to have like a yogurt spread or like a yogurt type dressing with lime squeeze on it. And it was just completely inappropriate because what we had was strawberry yogurt. Once again, you have to be very specific with ChatGPT, especially if you want to meal plan something that you actually physically carry in your household. Then you're going to want to be as specific as possible. And so it went ahead and rearranged everything again to show the strawberry yogurt. Now, when I tell you that it was obsessed with the limes, it was obsessed with the key limes bag, and it wanted to use it for almost everything. But after seeing the second round of suggestions, some things were kind of odd, like hot dogs wrapped in naan bread with iceberg lettuce and a side of canned beans. That sounds atrocious. So I went ahead and asked it, please, can you make this into a more Hispanic, Puerto Rican, Venezuelan, Cuban flavor profile, because it just wasn't really getting what I needed it to do. And you have to be as specific as possible. You have to tell it what to do, or it's just going to give you the information that it thinks you need. So let's see. Breakfast number 1, arepas with cheese made with harina de pan, stuffed with sliced cheese and a touch of parmesan, strawberry yogurt with key lime zest. Once again with the key lime zest, a pollo guisado stewed chicken, and then tostadas de pan sourdough. For lunch, okay. And then dinner, espaguetis con pollo. I thought that was so funny. And a side of mixed frozen veggies. Breakfast, I have pan con mantequilla y café. A cream of wheat with a touch of key lime and strawberry yogurt. Not sure what that was supposed to taste like, but it didn't sound appealing. Carne molida, empanadas, not bad. Dinner, tacos de pollo, yuca fries with strawberry yogurt dip. Okay. English, queso crema, con queso crema, or peanut butter and cream of wheat again. Now, I was very specific, and I asked it to please break it down per meal by the amounts that I had. But apparently it does, I guess this does like the normal daily servings that you would see in a box. It did have the arroz con pollo, which was great. Pasta salad cubana. It's like a cold pasta with an egg roll. And then empanadas de pollo and mixed frozen veggies as a side again. The veggies bag was less than a pound, so that was going to be impossible. It was going to be good just for one meal. Bagels with strawberry yogurt, cream cheese, and then cream of wheat with peanut butter. Oh, tortilla wraps with chicken and beans, sourdough bread. Then we have pollo frito with yuca and a side of naan bread. And so it did okay. I was able to grab from my own brain and my own experience of cooking what I should bring to the table for the kids and how I would kind of redo everything that it kind of suggested. So the question is, will I be using ChatGPT again to help me meal plan? And the answer is simply maybe. I think it was a very useful tool. It reminded me of recipes and even gave me some creative like things to do with the arepas, for instance, or even using the egg rolls as empanadas, which I'd already thought about it, but adding those yuca fries, like things like that, I was like, man, I had not really thought about that, because in my brain, I wouldn't make yuca fries normally. I would make something like yuca on the side with some mojo sauce on it, with a plate of protein and rice or something, or, you know, anything Cuban style. Did help in kind of refreshing my memory of things that I've already used in the past, recipes that I've used, and then things that I hadn't thought of. I will say, once again, to get it to be the most efficient tool for productivity when it comes to meal planning, you have to be as specific as possible with it, meaning restrictions. Make sure that you have enough servings for lunch for my husband the next day, and then how much you actually eat in a meal, because it doesn't know. You're just saying, you're putting in that you have 5 kids and a husband and a wife, and then it's like, it's just formulating what it thinks is right for you. And so you do have to tweak it a lot. You have to tell it what to do to give it what you want it to give you, if that makes sense. And so yeah, I probably would use it again. It's probably not going to be a tool that I use for my everyday meal planning. However, it will be something that when I'm in a bind, like I did for the last video, I will implement and use it, because I thought it was very easy for me to just grab all that stuff that I had on hand and then be like, okay, make me something with this. And it did that. It will take you a little bit of time to comb through all of the logistics that I just went over, but I think it's kind of worth having as a partner. I know people are afraid of AI and it's like going to take over the world. It helps us pass tests. It helps us, come up with medical documents, and they could break down a legal document for you and speak it to you like a kindergartner for a kindergartner to understand. It is an extremely useful tool. Do I think that it trumps human emotion, Latin cuisine, or Irish cuisine, or German cuisine, wherever you're from, Indian cuisine? Maybe not. You would have to actually tell that to it. So if you're like an Indian German household, like you would have to say, we are an Indian German household with both ingredients for both ethnicities. My dogs. You would have to tell. The little one, he bothers all of them. It's hilarious and very annoying when you're trying to make content. You would have to tell him, her, they, them, whatever ChatGPT is, the robot, that you're an Indian German family and you have ingredients for both cultures, and so that it could formulate something that could like fuse things for you. I do feel like ChatGPT is very useful, especially when it comes to productivity things. Like I was able to rearrange my chore chart for my kids the other day, and it broke it down to their age group and what their capabilities were. And that was very surprising. If you're interested in seeing something like that, let me know down in the comments as well, because it did really recreate my chore chart. I kind of was really proud of myself because I was like, man, I got it down. Like I have the little one picking up trash from every room and picking up the couch, and I have the older one doing more heavy duty things, and then I have the middles taking care of dog chores and things like that. So I am on the right track. However, it really like honed down onto what their capabilities was because of their age, and that was great for me to see that I was on the right track. But then it also did, because I was like, I want this to be fair for everyone and rotate chores, and it did that for me. By day, AM and PM, I told it, hey, they have AM chores after breakfast and we have PM chores after dinner. And so it was able to do that for me, and that was fantastic. Like that was so great. So if you're interested in seeing something like that, I think that AI could be such a great tool for moms and just really anybody. If you like this kind of content, you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button, subscribe, share this with another friend, and I will see you soon, my friends. Thanks for watching.